We welcome you live to the season number 4 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series race number 2 at the USA Speedway. And we are officially all up and running here tonight for race 2 of the Xfinity Series season. So, of course, Daytona Speed Week's wrapped up. The Xfinity Series season opener was last Friday night, and we had a great one there. That was won by Richard Cherry, so he's coming into this one with a lot of momentum. And what's going to happen tonight at USA Speedway? Speed Week is officially, of course, over, and it's time to get the season pretty much into full swing with our first, I guess you can say, normal track race. So USA Speedway is a brand new track on the schedule. Of course, it's just the Xfinity Series going here this season. It's, of course, a short track in Lakeland, Florida. This track in real life doesn't actually exist anymore, so unfortunately, we get to go here in iRacing. And it is, of course, USA Speedway. So who's going to be quick tonight? We're going to have to find out. So this is the real, I guess, test race to see who's going to be quick all season. Get a glimpse of that. Of course, in Daytona, you really couldn't, see what was going on there because it's a super speedway. And in Daytona, we know that, of course, Richard Cherry won. Wyatt Youngblood and Carlos Ortiz both had really, really solid days. Youngblood ended up finishing in second place. That photo finishing enters really solidly inside the playoffs currently. Just one race in. And we're going to have to see what happens tonight. Drivers like Cole Wilson looking to rebound after a bad finish in Daytona, P22 from the World Center of Racing with no stage points. So he scored exactly 0 points at the World Center of Racing. Cole Wilson did last week. And he's going to be looking to turn his luck around tonight at USA Speedway. Here tonight. For the first ever NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series race here. So trucks and ARCA for the lobbies went here in the past. As we welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series from USA Speedway. It'll be up here in just a quick second. All right, so cars are on track for the half-hour warm-up session. So, of course, as always, it's going to be a half hour for the warm-up. Then we have a 2-lap qualifying, and then races 110 laps. All right, just a quick second. We'll be live. All right, cars are on track from USA Speedway here tonight. It is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series, second race of the season. As through 3 and 4 goes CJ Erdman in the 94. There's the 27. That is Rojan Koch. Of course, last week at Daytona, Rojan Koch qualified outside of the top 35 and ended up DNQing, so he's going to have to look for a rebound tonight. First, a goal, obviously, is to try to make the race, but we will not have, of course, as many entries as we did in Daytona last week, which was 41. Rojan Koch looking for a good day tonight to try to salvage some of the points that he could have missed out on after DNQing in Daytona. All right, so down the front straightaway they go. There is Erdman in the 96. Here is the 32. Down the back straightaway he goes. That is Ortega. He's currently P5 on the board. In that number 32 Ford Mustang. Through 1 and 2 he heads. And down in the 3 and 4. 32 All right. So early days here in the warm-up session. There is the 65 of Wyatt Youngblood. Of course, he finished second in Daytona a week ago. Looking for some good momentum to carry over tonight here at USA Speedway. Currently P4 on the board, so a decent start to practice. Ahead of him is Wyatt Youngblood's teammate, Jake Scarborough in the 61. Scarborough actually missed the Daytona race, of course. He had a bad qualifying effort, ended up qualifying in 41st, and of course that was well not enough to advance, and he ended up missing the race. So he's going to be making his Cup Series or Xfinity Series debut tonight officially. And crashing in the back straightaway is Kelly in the 70. All right, Daytona race, went on a lap down or so. Here is the 5 of Michael Gregory on track, currently P6. TJ Moon was so close to winning in Daytona a week ago until unfortunately he got door slammed by Richard Cherry coming to the line. One of the drivers that was, of course, oh so close. Same thing with Cam Caraway, ended up with a top 5 at Daytona and currently sits in a very good spot in points. So lots of these drivers started off the season very well by having a good finish and good stage finishes in Daytona. So they'll be looking to carry the momentum over here tonight into USA Speedway. Gregory to the quarter panel of Ortega. As they race down the front straightaway, Gregory gets a bit loose. Here's George Carey-Frieds, and he's going to spin down to the inside in that 64. Finished 27th a week ago in Daytona. Here's Joseph Lewis in the 28, got a top 15 at the World Center of Racing. Rolls back on to the racetrack. Currently, Joseph Lewis sits 12th in the standings. He is -7 to the cut line. Of course, only one race into the regular season. Of course, this race will be run under the lights here tonight at USA Speedway. Lights will come on and we will have some on-track action for you tonight. 110 laps around USA Speedway. Here is Brody Webster down the back straightaway in that 88. He had a great showing from Daytona as he's on the racetrack for the first time tonight. And down the front straightaway he goes into turns number 1 and 2. Webster currently P11 on the timing sheets. In that 88, Chandler Wilson Racing Machine. So, of course, Chandler Wilson Racing had an okay Xfinity race from Daytona, but then in the Cup race it all went down, and Cole Wilson ended up winning the Daytona 500. And he is, of course, your season number 4 Daytona 500 champion. There he is in the 22. Had all the attention this week. Daytona 500 champ and a part-time start. Of course, he's full-time here in the Xfinity Series, so part-time driver wins the Daytona 500. And it was a big story a week ago. It was his first ever Cup win as well, and what a way to get it, the biggest stage, the Great American Race. Nolan Crane here down the back straightaway in the 3 and 4 in that 63. Nolan Crane still top of the board here, starting off at USA. Had a great start here tonight. Still yet to join the track is Richard Cherry, is one of them. Daytona winner from a week ago, and now crashing to the walls at 63, and Cole Wilson. There's Brody Webster. Ooh, here's Rojan Cook to drive around them. So we don't expect over 35 cars tonight, I would have to imagine. So qualifying for the race won't really be a huge issue like it was a week ago. Cameron Chandler in the 3 enters the track. Cameron Chandler currently is 4th on the board, making his 2nd Xfinity start of the season. Of course, full-time in the Cup Series this year, you get 8 Xfinity starts for Cup drivers. And Chandler using his 2nd one tonight. meet of Joseph Lewis rolling down on the apron. There's 20 bullets down the back straightaway. Here is that 70 of Kelly. CJ Urban rolling. There is Kiri Freeds. Here's Calero down the back straightaway in that 33. Oh, hard on the wall goes that 65 of Wyatt Youngblood. Of course, George Kiri Freeds racing off to a great start here in practice. Got 3 of their cars inside of the top 7 right now. Nolan Crane, Wyatt Youngblood, and Jake Scarborough. Here's the 27 of Rojan Koch. Heading through 3 and 4. Oh, spinning is the 61 of Scarborough. He'll get hit. And there is holes around as well. He actually will save it. Brandon Piper. Piper to the outside. "17 minutes to go in the warm-up session here from USA Speedway." Busy racetrack currently. Your top 20 all separated about 4/10 of a second. Back to Cam Caraway. Calero 21st, the last one to put in the time. 3 wide nearly down the front straightaway. So we raced here in preseason Thunder, the hour-long session. That had some incredible, I know it wasn't real racing, but it had some incredible battles throughout that. Some practice racing. We expect more of the same here tonight. This track in lobbies has impressed in both ARCA and trucks. And tonight in the Xfinity Series makes its debut. And yeah, definitely showed us it could race really well in lobby, so we decided to give it a chance here tonight. In the official Cup Series, or Xfinity Series, I should say. Definitely a shame that this track doesn't exist in real life anymore. It's a fantastic racetrack that should still be hosting races to this day, but unfortunately, not the way it works. Brody Webster spins in front of Herklotz and gets that number 4 machine in there. Here's Wyatt Youngblood heading down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Oh, in the wall. Spinning is Kelly, so definitely a couple of loose moments. So the track will be a little bit cooler as the session goes into qualifying, and then of course the race will have under the lights, pretty much. Oh, hard on the wall goes Maddox Beard, and he'll spin into the wall. So early in practice, top 10, Nolan Crane, TJ Moon, Michael Gregory, Cameron Chandler, CJ Urban, Wyatt Youngblood, Jake Scarborough, Ortega, Pfeiffer, and Wilson, your top 10. Definitely interesting top 10 drivers so far here from USA Speedway. 14 minutes to go in the warm-up session. Here's Cameron Chandler heading down the front straightaway. Number 3, so we get a bit of a loose moment there. Spinning through the grass is Calero in the 33. Oh, there goes the 20 for a bit of a slide. He'll hit the wall and nearly collect Brody Webster. So coming off Daytona, lots of wrecked equipment there at the end of the race. Oh, of course we had that big one that collected multiple cars. The first caution of the night right after the halfway break. Lots of drivers trying to recover in the point situations from that as well. Let's see how tonight all plays out. Here's Cam Caraway heading down the back straightaway. Only 4/10 off the lead, but currently 22nd on the board for that 81 Toyota for his own team. course, Nolan Crane back on track. There's Bolts in the 20. The 27 on Rojan Coke as well. Currently on pit road, there is your winner from last week, Richard Cherry. Got it done in insane fashion from Daytona. Looking to head into this race with some momentum tonight. Cherry currently 10th on the board. And yeah, definitely, Richard Cherry was already expected to be one of the championship contenders for this season in the Xfinity Series, and getting that early win in Daytona is only going to help that, as he has probably some good tracks coming up. Cole Wilson to the inside of Holtz. Cameron Chandler top of the board. Cameron Chandler, man, he's had terrible luck here at USA Speedway in lobbies. I remember back in the Truck Series, was dominating, leading with a couple laps to go. Nearly won that race. Caution came out, and then, you know, all hell broke loose at the end of that one. I don't even know how to explain that. Urquhart moves to the inside of the 96 of Holtz. 3 wide of Cam Caraway on the bottom. Christian Urquhart's currently 20th on the board. Gonna pick up speed a bit more. Ortega to the top now in that 32. Christian Urquhart enters tonight minus 12 to the cut line, 20th in points. So gonna have to have a good night to try to recover you. Obviously in Daytona, if you get yourself into a little bit of a hole, it's only gonna be like minus 10, minus 12 at the most, even if you wreck or something like that. Once you can't have that happen multiple races in a row. If you're on like race 4 and that keeps on happening, you're going to be in a hole. Like it's going to be tough to dig out of. You only have 13 races in the regular season, so not a whole lot of time to make some stuff happen if you think about it. Cup Series has 17. There's Rojan Cook, of course, missed Daytona in qualifying DNQ for a rebound tonight. Crane here as well. There's the 14 of Tyler Stevenson, another driver that missed the Daytona season opener after not being fast enough in qualifying and DNQing. He needs some redemption tonight. Not the way he wanted to start his season. Of course, 41 entered, only 35 made the race, and 3 of them, that DNQ, were full-time drivers. Of course, Tyler Stevenson here in the 70. As he goes into the wall. And of course, you had Jake Scarborough, who was in the 66. As that number 14 Stevenson will roll back on to the racetrack. Of course, that other third full-time driver was Rojan Coke in the 27 for Unsicker Motorsports. Of course, Rojan Coke moved over to Unsicker Motorsports in the offseason. He was on Highline last season. So here's Carlos Ortiz in the 10 car on the racetrack now. He still is in the 14 Chevrolet, just a bit of a different number font, so. There's the same crew over there, just with Hunsicker Motorsports. Carlos Ortiz had a fantastic first half in Daytona. Of course, we mentioned earlier, he won the stage, ran up front, led the most laps in the first half. The second half it all came apart, was involved in the big one. Then he got involved in about 2 more crashes after that and just could never recover. Ultimately, kind of got saved in the standings. Did not drop too far back by winning the stage, of course. He will enter minus 2, 9th on the board into USA. So the wall goes wide. Youngblood, and he gets slammed by Joseph Lewis. Oh my gosh, they pile together once again. TJ Moon, of course, like we mentioned earlier, had a great Daytona showing. He's currently plus 2. 8th on the board. Oh, Brody Webster gets turned by Cole Wilson. Into the wall goes that 88. Brody Webster currently sits in the playoffs as well. Plus 2 to the cut line. The driver that does not sit in the playoffs is Cole Wilson, currently 17th in points, minus 12. So he's going to have a good showing at USA to get back into that cut line. And of course, your points leader after winning in Daytona is Richard Cherry. Wyatt Youngblood is tied with him on points, but the tiebreaker goes to the driver with most wins. And of course, after one race, that is Cherry. Ortega, Chandler, Moon, so far your top three. Great start for that 32 of Ortega. Oh, as Tyler Stevenson and Rojan Koch get together a bit. Here's Brody Webster of the bumper, that 77 of Pfeiffer. Seven minutes left here. That's 32. And rolling back onto the racetrack, a scheme that Cameron Chandler ran so many times last season and actually won a couple of races in the Taco Bell number 8 Team Chevy Motor Club, now driven by Maddox Beard. Of course, our defending series champion, Cameron Chandler, moves up full-time to the Cup Series. Here's the one of Matthew White in one of his part-time Cup starts. Of course, as you all know, full-time Cup driver, Season 1 Cup Series champion. 24 drivers have put over on time so far. Matthew White will be your 25th. Oh, he gets a bit loose down the back straightaway. Down the front stretch yet again. White will go 24th. There's Calero in the 33. Carlos Ortiz to his inside. Oh my God, Cameron Chandler upside down, end over end. He just went top of the board, and he has a massive crash here in the front straightaway. They all pile up together. Qualifying coming up in 5 minutes from USA Speedway. Here's Maddox Beard back in the 1 and 2. It'd be tough not to say Cameron Chandler driving the number 8. Maddox Beard currently 19th on the board. Big gaggle of cars here down the front stretch in the 1 and 2. And he wrecks down to the inside. All right, under 5 minutes left. And Youngblood to the inside of Bolts. Here down the front stretch. Michael Gregory goes the second on the board. A good start for him. Definitely going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. Cole Wilson now 4th on the board, so overall, top of the board is all changing around all throughout the field. Back to Hartlott's 25th. All 25 cars in the field so far are separated by less than half a second on their practice laps. As it's right along with Holes. And that 96, who currently is 23rd. Gonna be easy on the power. So you head down the back straightaway in the 3 and 4 hard on the brakes. Make sure not to wash up, he will. Gonna basically paint that yellow line and get a nice run down the front straightaway and repeat. Back down in the 3 and 4 for Holes. down the front stretch yet again. He is still kind of off the pace here, still not improving. Still 23rd on the timing sheets. 4 holes in that 96 as Wyatt Youngblood goes down to the inside, who currently is 10th on the board. Riding along with the 65. Let's listen in and see how this lap goes. Ooh, Matthew White took a terrible crash, and now he's going to hit the wall. Okay. Oh, he gets slammed by Brody Webster. Upside down he goes, end over end for that 65. And he will get hit by Tyler Stevenson as still almost flips over again. Michael Gregory, great start, currently 3rd. Track position is going to be key tonight. 110 laps, halfway break at the end of lap 55. So ultimately for a short track race, not a very long time to make stuff happen, especially if you botch qualifying and have to start somewhere towards the rear. Only one guaranteed caution, obviously. There definitely could be more. But you never know. We've had long runs here in the past, especially in lobbies. Showed they can race long in preseason. We'll just have to see what happens tonight. Minute and 50 left here in the warm-up session for the Xfinity Series at USA. Pulling off is TJ Moon once again. And there is Cole Wilson rolling back onto the track. All right. So once again, about a minute to go here. Cole Wilson, who is currently 5th on the board, has a good a good spot on the board so far. Definitely looks quick this weekend. Needs the rebound just, of course, a bit. Currently enters this race -12 to the count line after finishing 22nd in Daytona. All right. Oh! Rajan Koch there. All right. So, qualifying, or I'm sorry, practice is over. Qualifying coming up next. Here from USA Speedway. All right, time to see who's going to win the pole at USA. Alex Ortega, top of the board here in practice as we get ready to qualify for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series, season number 3 race from USA Speedway. Here we go. Cars pulling onto the racetrack, so you got 2 laps to qualify as always. So 2 laps to do it. And the 14 of Stevenson going to slide to a stop. Just a quick second. Here's Brody Webster heading into 1 and 2 in that 88. And down the back straightaway he goes. Back down in turns 3 and 4. And across the line, so nobody to make a time just yet. So I believe it's Nolan Crane, top of the board. Matthew White now goes fastest. Here's Cameron Chandler heading down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4 yet again. It's now TJ Moon fastest. Chandler now goes top of the board. Here is a 64 of Carey Freeds. Here's TJ Moon in the 9, heading through 3 and 4, trying to improve. Let's see where he goes. He's currently second on the board. Let's see if that second lap is any better. Don't believe it is for TJ Moon. Here's Maddox Beard in the 8, heading down the back straightaway. Matthew Way currently 3rd. Nolan Crane currently 4th. Cherry's currently P5. And slowing down is Piper. Gregory to 5th, or 4th, I should say. Cherry is currently P6 on the timing sheets. Winner in Daytona. Still, can anyone take Cameron Chandler off the top of the board? Down the back straightaway in the 3 and 4 goes that 81. Here's Cam Carraway. Cam Carraway currently 23rd, slides a bit off the corner, looking to improve this time by, will he? He will. He'll be improving up to P18 with 2 minutes to go. Ortega is 4th in that 22. Here, 32, I should say. Here comes Alex Ortega. Oh, he has to lift off the corner exit. That's going to kill his lap time. He will qualify 4th for his Xfinity Series debut tonight. Minute and 50 left here to go. Carlos Ortiz yet to run. We still have 2 cars yet to go. Holes in Ortiz. Ortiz 24th on that opening lap. Down the back stretch he goes. Can anyone take Cameron Chandler off a pole? How about TJ Moon currently on the front row? Matthew White and Ortega in row number 2. Gregory and Crane row 3 currently. Ortiz to the line he goes. Final lap is now done for that number 10. Ortiz only 23rd, and that's going to be a bit of a disappointment for Carlos Ortiz. And he will qualify in P23. As the 96 yet to run. Give him a minute to go. As the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series, of course, heads to USA Speedway tonight.
Cole Clausen here. I will be joining Ethan Trendler in the booth for this Xfinity race here at the USA Speedway. Hopefully we can have a fun and clean race here at the USA Speedway.
Yeah, so of course it is, we were just finishing up qualifying. So 110 laps here tonight as we welcome Cole Clausen to the booth, Cup Series driver. We'll see him in Kentucky tomorrow night, I should say. So Cole, it is a brand new racetrack. We were here during preseason Thunder. What do we expect to see here tonight, starting off in the first half, do you think?
Yeah, going to be a pretty interesting race. Of course, we did come here in preseason Thunder, so a lot of these drivers have some experience here. But yeah, just hopefully we can have a clean race here. Everyone can just, put on some side-by-side racing maybe. I'm not really sure how the lanes are going to change here, if it's just going to be one single file groove on the bottom, or maybe they can slide up the track a little bit. Who knows? But going to be fun to watch here at USA Speedway.
Yes, of course, it's the second Xfinity Series race of the season, and we welcome you in live. All right. So, of course, a brand new rule in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League is we will have extended pace laps before the green flag to allow drivers to check pit road and more things like that. And we welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series Season number 3 race from USA Speedway. Just give us a quick second, and we will go through the starting lineup. And here we go. cars are currently on the grid. So currently, let's take a look at your starting laps. So of course, Cameron Chandler starting on pole. TJ Moon to his outside. Row number 2 will consist of Matthew White, of course, full-time Cup drivers. So 2 of the top 5 are full-time Cup Series drivers, including Chandler on the pole. And to Matthew's outside, you'll have Alexander Ortega in his Cup Series or Xfinity Series debut. Row 3 will consist of Michael Gregory and Nolan Crane. Just give us a quick second. Row 4, you got Richard Cherry and then Bolts there in the 20. Row number 5 will consist of CJ Urban and Cole Wilson rounding out your top 10. And you can, in a minute, take a look at the rest of your grid rolling across the left side of your screen.
Moving on down from 10th place, we have Wyatt Youngblood starting in P11. P12, we have Jake Scarborough in the number 66 car. Down from there, we have Jacob Clarino. I apologize if I butchered that. Starting in 13th. And then Brian Pfeiffer starting in 14th. Joseph Lewis, 15th. Brody Webster, 16th. Rojan Koch, 17th. Cam Caraway in the 81 car in 18th. Tyler Stevenson, the 14 car in 19th. And rounding out your top 20 is Maddox Beard.
All right, so as we can see, 21st and 25th on the, or 26th, as they will come down pit road to check pit road speed and find their pit boxes. A new rule that was added this week to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup and Xfinity Series. It'll be all league races besides lobbies and special events. And we'll come to 2 to green this time. Take a look at everybody looking for their pit stall. You're going to see them pull on down. Bit of pit practice, and everybody will find their stall. I don't think expect green flag pit stops here tonight, but even on caution flag pit stops, that's going to be an interesting thing to look at for us. Of course, during the caution flag periods, we also have the choose code. Lots of new rules for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League here in Season 4. Of course, the brand new rule, that is pit road speed. So we come to 1 to go to salute the fans who showed out to USA Speedway for the first Xfinity Series race here. The standalone event as the Cup Series heads to Kentucky tomorrow night. But still, going to be a great show. 1 to green. It is 2 Chevrolets leading the field. They head on down the back straightaway. Coming to the green flag this time by Cameron Chandler, starting on the front row with TJ Moon. Looking to see who's going to take the first ever checkered flag home from USA Speedway in the Xfinity Series. Pace car comes down pit road. And the first ever season number 4 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series race from USA is green and underway. Cameron Chandler will lead lap 1 here at USA as the car got in the wall a bit behind him. That's the 63 Nolan Crane. To the inside is that 5 of Michael Gregory on the 32 of Ortega on the second lap as they head side by side down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4. Cameron Chandler still leading. Matthew White was able to get the second place. TJ Moon fell back into P4.
Some contact back in the field between the 20 of Ryan Bolts and the 22 of Cole Wilson.
Currently battling for 9th place back there between those two. Bolts on the outside, Wilson on the inside in that 22. Wyatt Youngblood looking to the inside of Bolts here. As they head back down in the 3 and 4, he will take P10 from that number 20 of Bolts. To the inside is Nolan Crane on Alex Ortega, who's starting to fall back through the field here, only on lap 4, back to P6 after starting in 4th. He's got Cherry on his bumper, who didn't have the greatest of starts. Cherry almost looks down to the inside. He's still sitting on his rear bumper as they come to lap 5 here at USA Speedway.
Of course, Richard Cherry was your Daytona winner, so he's looking to continue his momentum here at USA.
Yes, so Sherry currently runs in P7. He definitely is expected to be a championship contender all throughout the season. So, of course, that win in Daytona giving him big confidence heading into the rest of the year. They're single file through them out the top 15 or so. Scarborough looks almost to the inside of the 20 of Bolts, gets on his bumper. Oh, bit of a loose moment there for Ortega. We'll have Sherry on his bumper shortly. Car already having a bit of an issue ahead of them. That is the 96 of Holes, so it looked like he got in the wall slightly. It is going to be very, very tough to make up track position here tonight. That's why qualifying was so important, and drivers like Carlos Ortiz, who qualified 23rd, is only up to P20 here coming to lap 8. He's going to have a tough night going after not qualifying well whatsoever. Into 1 and 2 they go yet again. And down this back straightaway. Matthew White has been putting the pressure on the the 3 of Cameron Chandler as of late. And you got TJ Moon quietly but solidly in 3rd. He's on the bumper of White. Looking to take P2 back away after starting on the front row. Up to the outside is Nolan Crane. He's got that number 32 of Ortega back to the inside for 5th. And Ortega will clear him. Now you got Cherry to the inside of Nolan Crane.
Looks like on lap 2 of the race we had Tyler Stevenson almost go around, but he got really loose. He was able to save it. But the 96 of Holes there, that's why you saw him kind of off the pace there, because he got collected in that as well. Also, the 4 of Christian Herclocks got involved in it as well.
Holes has pitted, and then now you can see him on pit road in that 96 currently. Not a start of the race he wanted, as they head to lap 11 here at USA Speedway. So early short track action, basically under the light sun, is setting. How about Michael Gregory? He had a good session in practice. Just not really sure what iRacing's doing. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Average iRacing moment. But anyways, of course, Michael Gregory had a great starting spot inside the top 5. Currently runs 4th. And looking to have a good day here tonight. Top 3's kind of separating themselves from Michael Gregory. Then he got Ortega and that his White Youngwood gets to the inside of his teammate Scarborough. Got the 20 of Bolt starting to slip back. Okay, iRacing, seriously? Not really sure what's going on at all. It's pretty stupid. Oh, contact! Its teammates Scarborough and Youngblood get together. Then he got Piper to the inside of that 61. He gets up the racetrack. They nearly all get together. And Scarborough are going to fall back here at about 13th place as that 77 of Brandon Pfeiffer back on his bumper. And he will clear him once again for 12th and will stay in P12. To the inside goes Cam Carraway on Holes, who's currently a couple of laps down. Got the 8 of Maddox Beard currently running in P16. Up front, though, it of course is Cameron Chandler with the lead over Matthew White. Currently in 3rd is TJ Moon still as they come to lap 16 here from USA Speedway. Gotta be wondering, are they saving a bit of tires, being conservatives? They're already starting to catch lap traffic here. Rojan Cook to 27. Got 55 laps in this first half. Chandler hits back down into 1 and 2. Rojan Cook has been falling off the pace as of late in that 27. Currently runs 24th. After missing the Daytona season opener, does not want to have another scoreless race here tonight and definitely wants to avoid being put a lap down early on. Here is the 5 of Michael Gregory up the track. He's got Alex Ortega all over his back bumper for 4th. Ortega in that 32. Having a good solid debut so far. He'll be running the rest of the races this season, go for the championship. Ortega to his inside. Side by side heading down the back straightaway. Between Gregory and Ortega. Chevrolet and a Ford. Ortega slides it back in there. He will clear Michael Gregory. He goes up the racetrack slightly. Gregory back to his inside, to his door, to his bumper. Can't get there. He will stay in line. Will fall to P5. As Cameron Chandler makes his way around the lap car with Rojan Koch. He's not having a great start to this race so far. Could allow Matthew Wett to get there, but he's going to have his exit compromised slightly by that number 1. There's that 5 of Gregory. He's got Nolan Crane here. Cherry has fallen, still P7. Pope Wilson quietly running in P8. Then he got a big gap to Bolts here, P9. CJ Irvin on his bumper currently running in 10th. And then Scarborough just outside of the top 10 in P11. And to the inside goes Scarborough on CJ Erdman. That is for the final spot inside of the top 10. As they race heading down the back straightaway. Back into 3 and 4 goes these two. And down the front stretch yet again. Still side by side for 10th.
It looks like on lap 20, a few laps ago, the 33 of Jacob Clarino, he actually hit the opening in the wall on the back straightaway and went
trouble!
way up the track.
Tyler Stevenson goes around and caution will come out. And the 14 will wreck down the front straightaway. And there he is on pit road. Let's take a look at what happens. Bring up the first caution flag of the night. So he's getting lapped here. Oh, just gets dumped by your leader, Cameron Chandler. Wow. All right. Ooh, everybody tries to avoid him. It looks like TJ Moon got him slightly. Cherry in the middle there. Everybody spins down to the inside. Let's take a look riding along with the 3 of Cameron Chandler to see what he saw. Definitely was interesting. Yeah, just got him in a bad spot. Got him turned around, trying to lap him, and just 14 of Stevenson could not hang on to it.
Yeah, and Stevenson not happy in the chat here. He goes on by saying, "Jack, you know what?" And then Cameron Chandler says that he was going slow and that he just got loose. So some disagreement here already at the short track of USA Speedway, as Tyler Stevenson is now disconnected because obviously his motor is done for.
Yeah, of course, took that huge hit into the wall. Unfortunately, after DNQing in Daytona, it's going to be an early lap 26 DNF here at USA Speedway. So time to see who's going to be coming down pit road. That's going to be the interesting part here. So lots of cars staying out. Nobody pitting just yet. TJ Moon got a bit of damage. He fell back to the 8th. Rojan Koch is pitting in the back. He's currently 1 lap down. Getting the free pass should be Calero, I believe. Coles is stopping on the front straightaway to let some cars go. And current leader is Cameron Chandler in the 3. So we are on caution here on lap 27. So interesting moment. So guys up in the booth, what are your thoughts on that? Cameron Chandler getting the bumper of Stevenson, getting him loose and turning him around.
Yeah, I really don't know what to think about that because if you remember back in Michigan, I forget if it was I think it was a FedEx Xfinity Series race. I actually had a good amount of beef with Stevenson, so me and him don't really have a good history, so I can't really speak on that. But to me, kind of looks like just a racing incident. I mean, I think Stevenson probably should have gotten out of the way, but Chandler kind of did look like he made some contact with him.
Yeah, it also did seem like he was going pretty slow as well. Stevenson off the corner.
All right, choose cone here, pretty average up front. As we come to the green at this time by, so you saw more cars pick the inside lane than the outside overall. But up front, they really do not change. I think Cherry got a couple of spots by picking the outside after a couple more pick the inside. But we'll come back to the green flag this time by here from USA Speedway. We we are back underway. Oh, big slide for Nolan Crane off corner, off the start, of course. Got some wheel spin. Oh, he gets the bumper. Cherry, 29, and Cherry is loose. Can he save it? He will save it. Oh, he's going to get turned to the wall hard. And they have a massive crash down here. Caution will come out. Brody Webster involved, and yeah, that's definitely unfortunate. Oh, Rojan Koch got spun at the last second. Multiple cars involved on the back straightaway on lap 29. Maddox Beer, the 33 of Calero. See that 88 with damage. Christian Herklot's got a piece of it.
That was probably the big one of the entire race, honestly, right there.
And all torn up the 29 of Richard Cherry. What happened down here? So, yeah, it all started down in turn 1. So it was interesting. Nolan Crane got a bad start. Then he overdrives the corner into the Cherry bumper. Or Cherry, believe, got on the brakes too early. I thought he had a save and then got hooked right at the last second. Nothing he could have done. They all pile up. You see Michael Gregory involved with 26 holes. 4 of Herklot's all slide into it. Let's ride along with the 5 of Gregory to see what happened through this incident. They all just kind of piled up there at the end. No one could have really done anything about it. Second caution of the night already out, and yeah, there he goes. Pile up. See the 70 involved.
I'm honestly surprised that Richard didn't get a blown engine from that. Usually, getting turned head on to the wall results in a blown engine. So I'm surprised he got away from there.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely have bad damage though. They all pile up here down the front straight. Oh, you see Brody Webster got a bit of air there in the 88. And then Rojan Koch got turned at the last second. Let's just run along with the 29 of Cherry to see what happened from his point of view. Oh, yeah. Bad bump.
Yeah,
almost had it saved. And there he goes.
Yeah, and we got some words being said in VC in the group.
Richard Cherry definitely not happy because, yeah, it looks like Nolan Crane just drove it on in there and then tried to go to his outside. And when they initially wrecked it, that was kind of, on both parts, but definitely pretty big wreck there.
Yeah, short track.
I honestly say that's mostly a racing incident, but if we were to blame someone, it would probably be the 63. We're just sending it in right there.
I agree.
I mean, short track tempers are flaring already here from USA Speedway, so don't believe anyone pitted as we see the choose here down the front straightaway. A lot of cars choosing the inside once again. They're on pit road as the 20 of Bolts. Same thing, you got the 96 of Holes as well. Then there's the 5 of Michael Gregory getting back to the speed. So one car still laps down. We will restart here on lap 34. Let's try this once again. We had a clean initial start to this event. Let's see what happens here. Pace car back down pit road again. So now it's Cole Wilson to the outside of Cameron Chandler. And we are back underway. Bad start for the outside in Cole Wilson. So head back down into turns number 1 and 2. You see Matthew White to the inside of that 22 machine. Side by side.
We got a spin in the back.
Keep it green, and this is just the 5 of Gregory going around.
Hopefully reset.
Got it spun back around, I believe. Big lunge back in the 1 for Matthew White to clear Ortega and Cole Wilson as Wilson, that 22, moves way up the racetrack back there as they head down the back straightaway side by side, that 22 in the 9 of TJ Boone.
Oh, he's spinning the back.
And Youngblood. Let's see if he can keep it going. He gets it turned around and we'll keep it green. He will.
Yep.
Man, it has been chaotic here at USA Speedway so far. Early 30 or so, or 25 or so laps of the race were pretty much clean and green so far, but now after that, it has been absolutely chaotic. So Wilson looks to the inside of Erdman.
Sorry, but if we look at the incident back on the restart, looks like Carlos Ortiz just Louisiana dive bombed that thing and just straight up took out Michael Gregory for whatever reason. That was certainly interesting, but Gregory has disconnected because he was involved in that big one there.
Alexander Ortega takes the lead here from USA Speedway on lap 38 from Cameron Chandler. Great speed for this 32 so far, and he is your new leader here at USA.
Definitely showing some fast pace for I think his first start in FedEx. And Ryan Bolt is also disconnected. Pretty sure he's probably involved in that big one.
Yeah, so early DNFs. We're now kind of clean and green for a bit of time. Oh, to the bumper. As I say that, is TJ Moon on Matthew White, and they make contact. Moon is sideways, so is White. They both save it somehow. Moon to the inside. He slides up the racetrack to the door of Erdman, and they go side by side here through 1 and 2 yet again, these two teammates. And TJ Moon, I believe, has a bit of wheel damage from that incident.
That could have been disastrous for everyone behind them if they didn't save that car, if they didn't both save the car right there.
Moon will clear
They're
Erdman.
They're lucky to still. Oh, there's still bumping.
Oh, Matthew White up the track. He slides. He will save it. We'll still obviously be able to keep going and just get in the right direction once he's clear. But man, that was a big turn of events. Matthew White goes for a bit of slide up the racetrack. He'll lose track position. Still in the bumper of Ortega is Cameron Chandler. They're not going away, putting pressure on that 32. Ortega got the victory tonight. It would be the second week in a row we have a new winner in the Xfinity Series after Richard Cherry was able to do it last week.
As driver's still trying to get use bumpers to get by people. I think that's really the only way you can get by people on the bottom, especially if you want to try saving tires too. So you're definitely seeing it a lot today, and it's caused a lot of wrecks because the Xfinity cars can't really use the bumper well without spinning someone out.
Yeah, of course. We also mentioned track position to be so important here tonight. And it already has showed as drivers up front have not been involved in accidents for the most part. Drivers in the back like Carlos Ortiz got damaged, and he's currently running 19th, 1 lap down. And I knew Ortiz, after qualifying outside of the top 20, he would have a tough night. And it was already starting not what he needed after entering this race below the cut line at 9th. CJ Erdman having a great run here with 11 to go till the halfway break. Currently running in 4th. TJ Moon still having a solid run, even when he made contact with Matthew White. Right ahead of there is Brody Webster.
Yeah, I think honestly, real damage here does not matter that much unless it's like really bad. And I think he's still handling okay out there.
Here is Richard Cherry, currently running in 19th position. He's got damage still on that 29, one of the most damaged cars on the racetrack, so definitely having a tough night so far after winning the season opener in Daytona. Not the way he wanted to continue his season. Coming close to the halfway break here at USA. To the inside is Brandon Pfeiffer on Cole Wilson. That is for P6. Pfeiffer having a great start. He's up to P5 currently. You got 2 of the top 5 from Third High Racing. Erdman and Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what TJ Moon can do this season. Currently running in 3rd. Came really close to that win at Daytona, but unfortunately...
Almost a spin in the back to keep it going, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, Richard Cherry came up in door slam, though, over at Daytona, so it's really unfortunate for him, but having a good night here at USA.
Yeah, even with that damage, he still continues to trudge along in P3. Kind of ran P3 all day long, looking to stay there to get good stage points. He currently sits 8th in the standings entering.
And honestly, it was pretty good for Cherry to win at Daytona there, honestly, after what just happened a couple laps ago. So
yeah, definitely. As Cam Caraway having a good run so far, currently runs in 7th. Had no pace at all in practice, was outside the top 20 all practice long. Having a good run though so far as we see there is your leader. There's Brody Webster going up the racetrack. So early chaos though here in Daytona, which is something we did not, or I'm sorry, USA, which is something we did not see at Daytona whatsoever coming up 4 to go in the stage.
And this is where most people are going to try to get the spots up to get more stage points, as been a pretty common race, but it looks like stuff is starting to get a little bit aggressive in the back. Nolan Crane and Christian Herlocks are trying to fight for P10, it looks like. The last, I think the last point of stages.
Coles to the inside of your 6th place car, Cole Wilson. Coles is currently 23 laps down, so he's just trying to make some lap times to. He's not trying to salvage something at least. There's Kerry Freeze currently running in 11th on the bumper of that 4 of Christian Herklotz. Or gets that 4 car a bit loose. Herklotz has a bit of front end damage. Definitely wants to have a good run after not running well and crashing in Daytona. And he moves back to 11th. Outside of the points currently. 2 to go to the halfway break, coming on 1 to go this time by for your leader. There is Calero starting to get into some heavy lap traffic. Or I'm sorry, Ortega's starting to get some heavy lap traffic. Calero ahead of him and White Youngblood. Youngblood just wants to try to stay on the lead lap here. Matthew White is also rooting for him to stay on the lead lap because White would get the free pass as they head down the back straightaway for the final time in this stage through 3 and 4. First start, and it's a great one for Alex Ortega. He will see the green and white checkered flag. He will win the stage here from USA. Second will be Cameron Chandler across the line. Third is going to be TJ Moon. 4th, Erdman. 5th, Pfeiffer. 6th, Wilson. 7th, Caraway. 8th, Scarborough. 9th, Crane. And 10th, Curie Freeze. Stage break from USA Speedway. It's the 32 of Alexander Ortega, your stage winner. Gets those 10 stage points, and we'll be right back under the halfway break from USA. Welcome back live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series from USA Speedway. Your leader is going to be on pit road this time by. And here they come. So it's going to be interesting to see who's a good stop here. Who's going to be off pit road first. You're going to pack that thing as full as fuel as you need it. And here they come to pit on lap 58.
I think Matthew White's getting his lap back currently.
Yeah, he's doing it by drifting it.
I'm going to be interested.
I was making sure I wasn't the only one that saw that.
I don't really know what's going on with the service tonight, but this is really bad. Okay, what the... And now the cars still are not back, so I really don't understand what's going on with iRacing tonight. This is really bad. So, sorry about these technical difficulties. Don't know what's going on at all. Okay.
There we go.
I think we're back. Okay. Appreciate it, iRacing. Really appreciate it. Come to the choose. So it is going to be White Youngblood actually staying out. Sorry about those technical difficulties. We are back and ready for the second half here at USA. So Youngblood stays out in old tires. It's going to be Ortega to his outside.
I mean, Ortega has showed some serious pace here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's here at the end.
Yeah, of course. Won the stage. Here we go. Oh, what is White Youngblood doing? My God. And that was an awful start in the wreck, and here down the front straightaway. Caution going to come out. That was a horrible, horrible form. Oh, my God. You're actually joking. And iRacing is just...
You might have to try to rejoin maybe.
I don't know what it is. So apologies for all this. There we go, okay. So let's take a look at what happened as iRacing finally fixes itself, I think. Hopefully for good. And man, why Youngblood that was one of the worst starts I think I've ever seen in my life. That was awful. I believe he's disconnected.
It's like he spun the tires.
I mean,
It's
that
like
was.
he spun the tires and then
I
he
don't even
just
know
didn't
what.
get going.
That was terrible.
Yeah, Youngblood said that he spun his tires and then something happened to his wheel, I guess. So pretty interesting.
All right, we can only take a look from this one angle because of the replay being broke. Yeah, you just saw that, of course, from that angle before, and then just piling it up down this front straightaway. And Cam Caraway got involved with 63 Nolan Crane, his teammate, and then they all just break each other. So we're gonna move on from that. But yeah, my God, car's still on pit road.
That was yikes.
That was not good at all for these leaders.
It looks
Jeez.
like Talladega from 2015 when Harvick spun his tires and just didn't get going.
I mean, Harvick did it on purpose,
Anyway,
so makes it a little better.
who says Wyatt didn't do it on purpose either? We never know.
I mean, I don't know.
But I think they're going to the cheese cone this time.
I don't really. Yeah. Cars are still like broken on my end as they go down to the inside. Top three all choose the inside. Outside there for Cole Wilson. Same thing with the 61 of Scarborough. He'll gain position. Same thing will with the 63 of Nolan Crane, who somehow got his front bumper back. All right, try this again.
I think the northeast or the northeast servers are just really bad right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that iRacing. Perfect timing. All right, let's try this again. Lap 65, going back to green. Here from USA Speedway, back underway.
Much better start on the sprint there.
Ortega
As
gets.
everyone tries to file in.
Oh, Cole Wilson gets loose. He's sliding in front of TJ Moon as they head down the back straightaway. There is that 3 of Cameron Chandler as Moon gets to the inside of that number 22 of Cole Wilson as they head down the front stretch. Down the back straightaway, almost contact being made by that 9 and the 22 machine as they continue to race at it. Door to door even, still down the front straightaway. And finally, Moon will clear Cole Wilson.
Cameron Chandler apparently just had the fastest lap of the race. I think it was the 29.4. Not 29.4, probably 21.4.
Okay, so Chandler having good pace here early in the second half here at USA. Back there, we can see Matthew White to the inside of Christian Herklotz for 8th. Back down to the 3 and 4 yet again. Had some chaos in this race so far tonight, but not short of what we expected from a short track. And if this thing stays green to the end, we could be in for a real cheat between Alexander Ortega and Cameron Chandler here towards the end of this race. And it's only going to be 40 to go coming to this time by, so this thing could be winding down pretty quickly.
I'm about to say that's saying we don't get any cautions, and I feel like the chance of that is probably 1 in 50 right now, considering how much they're racing.
I mean, you never know. They could get spread out. Could have some.
You never know.
One green flag runs. There's not a whole lot of lap traffic ahead of them. First lap car is Maddox Beard all the way about half a track behind, so they won't catch a lap car for a while. We have Cameron Chandler still pressuring Ortega. officially all the way under the lights here at USA. 39 laps to go here tonight. Again, rolling down the back straightaway here, that 32 and the 3. All right, so still Cameron Chandler all over the back over Ortega, and then back here in P3 still is TJ Moon, who's just been running here all day long. Cole Wilson still in 4th. How about Jake Scarborough currently running in P5? It's CJ Herman in 6th, Matthew White P7, Nolan Green 8th, P9 is Hurt Klotz, and P10 currently Joseph Lewis, who's having a quiet day.
As Richard Cherry looks like he's going to try coming down pit road, and he might retire. No idea yet. I'll give an update to you soon once I find out.
All right. Rojan Coca, good recovery, currently running in 12th. Of course, Dean Cude for the Daytona season opener. Here's Cherry on pit road in the 29. He's taking service. And Chandler still on the bumper of Ortega. And he's going to be inside for the lead. Cameron Chandler on Alexander Ortega. Gonna not clear him off corner exit. They're still side by side. Now we will clear him. New leader once again from USA. It is Cameron Chandler.
And just as I suspected, Richard Cherry has retired from this section.
Unfortunate for the 29 of Richard Cherry after winning in Daytona a week ago. DNFs from USA Speedway, and I believe will score a grand total of 0 points.
We just got a line of cars here. 11's on back. Or 10's on back, I should say. And I think they're coming like 30 to go or something like that.
Yeah, 80, coming to 30, 31 to go, coming to 30 to go this time by. You see Joseph Lewis to the inside of Christian Herklotz down this back straightaway once again. Herklotz up the track he goes in that 4. He's continuing to lose positions.
We almost saw 3 wide in the back. As it looks like they're trying to settle down back here. The last thing the leaders want to see, though, is a caution. Especially for Cameron Chandler after making it pass, as they're trying to get around each other. Here freezing that 64 on the outside. There's the 4 Herklotz. 96 the holes, the 10 Carlos Ortiz. Sorry, unfortunately our internet is awful tonight. Really not sure what's happening. Trying to switch it over. Just to continue to battle here. There's 4, I should say. And it looks like they're trying to use a bumper, honestly, but I don't think they can really get to each other's bumpers right now.
Yeah, I mean, in preseason Thunder, we saw it was a whole lot, definitely a whole lot more racy. For some reason here tonight, we've seen kind of a whole lot less of that. It's been a good race so far, but haven't seen as much racing. We saw a good pass with Chandler and Ortega for the lead. Ortega has been still kind of sitting there about 4/10 back.
Oh, they're almost wrecking in the back. Someone on the 64 just got moved.
And Brody Webster is spun. He is up the racetrack right now. He gets it moving. TJ moved to the inside of Cole Wilson. course, Cameron Chandler has bad history with caution flags late in the race at USA Speedway, as Brady Webster, I believe, continuing to have issues, but he's gotten that thing back rolled away.
No, he just pulled off the track.
All right. Fortunate night for Webster after entering this race in the playoffs. This is definitely going to shake up the points a bit because, of course, you got, drivers like Richard Cherry finishing with no points after winning in Daytona. Great rebounds for Cole Wilson, currently running in 4th. Same thing with Scarborough after D&Qing in Daytona. Why Youngblood?
Oh, 64, almost around. He got it back in the apron, and he's just losing that car. George Hickory's just out of the zone right now.
Yeah, definitely having some handling issues. There's White Young. Oh, he's gonna spin down the front straightaway. He goes around. We'll see if he can get it going again. And looks like he will. He spins way out of the way of the leaders.
No caution will be needed, and they keep it going. But it's starting to get definitely a little bit race wrecky out here.
21, now 20 to go here at USA Speedway. Time for an Xfinity Series Wednesday night. Crank it up.
Oh, we got a spinner. Oh, no, never mind. 81 looked like he pitted from the very top line there.
Yeah, Cam Caraway coming down pit road. Currently running 3 laps down.
Sounded like he blew the engine too, so I think he said he were done. No idea though.
Cam Caraway had speed mid in the race, but fortunately lost it all after getting caught up in a bit of an accident. Now looking like he's coming at pit road to retire that car with an engine failure. 11 to go at USA Speedway. Cameron Chandler currently leading.
And yeah, just that spot, Cam Caraway has retired.
Oh!
Whoa!
got together, the 32, as up the racetrack goes Herklotz in that 4.
As we got slow cars, I think? No, never mind, they kept it going. Looked like they're in front of Cameron Chandler.
Whoa, contact. Nolan Crane, Carlos Ortiz, that is for 8th. So Cameron Chandler has lapped all the way up to P. Oh!
Nolan Crane just trying to take him out.
He was not happy, trying to get a bit of revenge. 9 to go here at USA. It is getting to crunch time. Nobody is happy. Tempers are flaring, and it's been boiling over all race long.
Oh, Ortiz just door slammed Nolan Crane going into turn 3.
Oh, that's probably why he's upset.
Yeah.
And he lost position too.
And Nolan Crane, he's trying to take out Ortiz. He just bent it so hard in turn 1 that he hit the wall, and he completely missed Ortiz.
I think my stream's behind a bit.
No, he's behind.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so stupid.
Got me confused for a second, but
Yeah, I'm kind of used to this new commentating thing.
7 to go.
Cameron Chandler still has about 2.2 second gap, as it looks like the 27 of Rojan Koch is going to try to get around Nolan Crane.
Yeah, Crane has been falling back. Rojan Koch having a good rebound so far, currently running in 10th on the bumper of Nolan Crane in that 63.
Cameron Chandler and the rest of the field, honestly, just has five more laps.
Yeah, Chandler just wants to bring it home. He's got this mess ahead of him with Koch and Crane battling for position. Just wants to try to get around it. Get to the inside of Koch down the back straightaway. Into turn 3 and 4. Gonna look to set his eyes on that 63 of Nolan Crane and put him 1 lap down. It's a good debut for that number 32 of Alexander Ortega, but ultimately currently running in P2 after leading some laps and winning the stage, but still so far it's been a successful day for that 32. Just wants to try to bring it home. 3 to go this time for Cameron Chandler, your defending series champion in the Xfinity Series, coming back for one of his part-time series starts. Full-time in the Cup Series, you'll see him in tomorrow night's Cup Series race from Kentucky.
As Brody Webster has retired as well. I don't know what happened to him, but
I believe he's been on pit road for a good amount of time, currently 21st. 2 laps to go at USA Speedway for Cameron Chandler. Trying to just bring it home.
He has to get to the white flag. And I think he's going to be able to do that. Yep.
Blair up the racetrack out of the way.
Oh, we got to crash turn 3, or turn 4, sorry.
Into the wall goes Roshan. Get final laps underway anyway, so that's perfect for Cameron Chandler. I did not want to see that caution flag come out. Final lap down the back straightaway for the final time. For the 3 of Cameron Chandler through turns 3 and 4, returns to the Xfinity Series after winning the title a season ago. Cameron Chandler wins from USA Speedway.
I bet you Cameron Chandler was so happy that caution didn't come out right there.
I mean, it came close as well.
Yeah.
Ortega comes home second in his debut, racing to the line, more cars.
The one car, Matthew White, Matthew was
my goodness.
Was TJ Moon. They are mad.
Here it is, down to the inside. Tempers are flaring. Short track racing here in the Xfinity Series. Oh, and he's gonna get to his bump. Oh, almost hits him once again, and they are not happy with each other. He's gonna get turned. On the cool down lap. Tempers are flaring all around here at USA Speedway. Fireworks going off in the background. Cameron Chandler's burning it down. And drivers are not happy with each other post-race. But it doesn't matter for the driver of the 3.
Don't disrespect TJ Moon now, or else he will send you to the moon.
TJ Moon finishes 4th. It's been a great start to the season for him. Matthew White came home P5. I'm just obviously not happy with something that happens on track at the end. We'll try to take a look at it to see if we can find it. Cameron Chandler will burn it down on the front straightaway. Your winner here at USA. Long run ends the race. Good, nice showing here from USA Speedway tonight. And he will park it down in victory lane. And still will fly over to Kentucky tonight, and he'll be, of course, at the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race tomorrow night from Kentucky Speedway at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to tune in for that one, happening tomorrow. Cameron Chandler, your winner from USA Speedway. Coming up, our post-race interviews here from Lakeland, Florida. And a good show from this warm Florida night. We hope you enjoyed the NASCAR Racing FedEx Xfinity Series, second race of season number 4 from USA. Cameron Chandler gets the job done. And let's have post-race interviews coming up. Definitely should be some interesting ones. And let's all go post-race. All right, so coming up first, of course, is your winner, Cameron Chandler. Cameron Chandler, a great showing for you guys here at USA Speedway. You get the job done. So it looked like Alexander Ortega kind of got you guys ahead there just about before the second half was over. Then you retook the lead. So what was it like battling through the long runs and the short runs and surviving throughout this race here tonight to come home with the victory?
Yeah, we stayed out under that first caution that we unfortunately caused. I'll have to go look back at what happened there, but I'm sorry to Tyler for taking him out the race there. But yeah, we stayed out and he came in a pit, and that clearly was the wrong decision. We burned the right rear and just could not keep up after I think 10 laps in that run. But yeah, the second half, CWR just brought great cars, 1, 2, 3. But yeah, the rest of them, I don't know what happened. I think the crew chief like put in left the Daytona setup in. So a lot of CWR crew chiefs on the 88, the 10, the 33, and probably a few other. Yeah, they will be fired and we'll be searching for new ones.
All right, so we're heading into the Cup Series race tomorrow night from Kentucky. So I got to fly over to Kentucky from Lakeland, Florida. So it's the second race for the Cup Series season, of course, going back to back with the Xfinity Series. So you guys won in the Xfinity Series at Kentucky a season ago. Of course, they don't go to Kentucky anymore. But moving on to this Cup car, what do you guys think you can do tomorrow?
I have no clue. I don't think I have a single lap. No, I do. I haven't had a single lap in that car in over a year at that track. And I'm also hearing now from Lucas K that the hauler has not even left the shop, the TCMC shop, to leave to Kentucky. So, hauler driver, you also will be fired, and I guess I'll have to fly back to the shop and drive it there myself or something.
All right, well, good luck trying to get your hauler back to Kentucky and celebrating at the same time after winning in USA, and we'll see you tomorrow night from Kentucky.
Yeah, good luck, fatty.
Nice try. All right, anyways,
Wow.
coming up is going to be Alexander Ortega. Alexander Ortega, a great Xfinity Series debut for you tonight. You ended up winning the stage after taking the lead from Cameron Chandler. Looked like you guys got a bit behind in the second half of this race after coming up just short in second place after getting past with about 45 to go. So ultimately, take me through what happened in that final run.
Yeah. I just a great all-around day. Did a good job keeping it clean through all the chaos, especially with the different tire strategies in stage 1. And I got the lead there, and kind of to start stage 2, I was trying to just kind of conserve, and I don't think Cameron was necessarily conserving as much as I was. And then he got to my inside, and I baited myself into pushing really hard to try and get back around him, and it just kind of threw the tires away. I think we ended with a 1% tire difference, and so I think I just got my stuff a little too hot and just couldn't really do anything with him at that point. But all around, a pretty good day.
All right, so we're heading into, of course, a completely different racetrack, Sonoma Raceway, next Wednesday night. So it's a road course. What do you guys think your expectations are heading into that one?
Low, very low, because I don't actually have Sonoma.
All right. Well, we will of course see you next week, and of course, nice job finishing second in your Xfinity Series debut tonight.
Thank you.
Coming up next, P3 is going to be Cole Wilson. Cole Wilson, after finishing 22nd in the Xfinity race at Daytona a week ago, and then, of course, winning the Daytona 500, all to cap it off, you ultimately finished third tonight at USA Speedway. So quiet, but a very solid day for you guys. So in the stage, let me just pull it up right here. You guys ended up in P6, and then you finished P3 in the race. So a great points day haul. It should help you guys in the points after entering tonight -12. So ultimately, are you happy with it, how your day went overall tonight, USA, finishing with the podium?
Yeah, definitely happy with it. Like you said, coming away with 0 points and a wrecked race car at Daytona wasn't the greatest. But showing up here, had good speed. Sixth in the stage, so got a few points with that. And then obviously, yeah, third place. We'll take it. CWR brought a lot of fast race cars today. 1, 2, 3 with me, Cameron, and Alex. So great day for us in points as a team as well, and had a good one.
All right, so we're coming up to one of your best tracks where you nearly won a season ago, and of course you won a road course last season at Watkins Glen. It's Sonoma Raceway. So do you guys think you're going to be able to bring the same speed you had last season at the road courses and ultimately contend for the victory?
Yeah, I love road courses, so hopefully we can be up front. My only worry is Matthew White is
That was coming
No,
to the white.
that's after.
position with him, but should be a fun one, and hopefully run up front and get some more points.
All right, well, a nice job here finishing top 3 at USA Speedway, and we will see you next week from Sonoma.
Oh yeah, one more thing. I want to thank Library's Custom Diecast,
Yeah,
official diecast producer.
Nice
Bill.
try. All right, anyways.
I'm not sure if we actually go to Sonoma in the Xfinity series because I'm looking at the schedule right now and I don't see it on there.
Did we not? Oh, whoops, we don't. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say.
All right, so Xfinity has off next week. I completely forgot we removed that. Okay. All right, so I've been given out false information, so that's nice. So, of course, the Xfinity Series has off next week. Anyways, thanks for the clarification, Cole.
Yeah.
Anyways, coming up is TJ Moon, who finished 4th. So TJ Moon, it is P4 tonight here at USA Speedway. You, of course, ran up front all day long, but what was going on with the beef between you and Matthew White there at the end of the race?
Yeah, I got to him a couple times and he kind of blocked me, and I gave him a couple taps in the rear to let him know that I wasn't happy about it. And whenever I got back to him after he doored me down the straightaway, and when I got back to him, I gave him a little tap, and then I thought I got my nose in there, and then I realized that I wasn't there, and I turned him.
All right, so of course it was a great race for you guys overall, though. Top 5 all day long. So how much momentum after finishing great in Daytona as well is this going to give you heading into Fontana in 2 weeks?
It's probably gonna give me a lot of momentum because I'm pretty good at Fontana, and I don't know. I just gotta keep momentum up and try to figure out the setups better because I'm new, and I just gotta figure these things out a lot better.
All right, well, nice job here on the top 5 finish here in the Xfinity Series race at USA Speedway, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Fontana, California.
Thank you.
Coming up next is going to be your 6th place finisher, CJ Urban. CJ Urban, P6 tonight. A great day overall. You guys ran inside the top 10, top 6 pretty much all day, especially in the second half. So what was it like running up front here tonight, and how impressed are you with your speed of your Clear High racing machine tonight?
Yeah, stage 1 impressed me a bit. I started 9th and lost a spot at the start of the race and fell off, and then after we got that caution and avoided the wreck, we were somehow able to get up to, I think it was 5th in the stage, which is what we needed to do, got points, and then picked the bottom for that last restart after the big pile up, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have gone to the outside, but I went with the bottom, and just kind of got stuck. It was really hard to pass tonight, and got lucky there with the P6 after the 27 and 66 got together coming to the white flag. So it was a lucky P6, but we'll take it.
All right, so of course we're heading to Fontana in 2 weeks' time for the Xfinity Series. So they have off next week when the Cup Series goes to Sonoma, but the Xfinity Series goes to Fontana. What do you guys think your expectations are heading through the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think the expectation is to get a win or two here in the regular season. Fontana's an okay track for me, but there's some really good tracks coming up for me on the schedule, and I think if we can get top fives and get a couple wins, we'll be comfortably in the playoffs and some stage points as well.
All right, well, nice job here on the top 10 finish here at USA Speedway. Great day overall for you guys, and we'll see you in Fontana in 2 weeks.
Yep, thank you.
Coming up next is going to be the number 60. Sorry, he left. Coming up next is going to be Carlos Ortiz. Carlos Ortiz, a very up and down day for you guys. So you started, I think, 23rd. Then you guys kind of got caught up in some early race incidents back there. Made it hard to make your way through the field, and ultimately will end up 8th. So pretty good rebound overall. So what was it like trying to drive up through the field here and ultimately finishing in 8th?
Yeah, it was a complete struggle all day. I didn't expect so little grip with this car. I never felt comfortable, but after getting into a few wrecks, I just changed my driving style to be more conservative, and then while people were fighting, I would just get under them for the rest of the run until I got to 8th.
All right, so P8, no stage points tonight either, so you should just be around the playoff cut line. So what is going to be your plan over these next few weeks, starting at Fontana in 2 weeks' time, to try to get yourself well above the playoff cut line in a comfortable position?
Well, I just keep going for the win. I know that we are like a championship caliber team and driver. We just need to put it all together, stages, finishes, and hopefully avoid some idiots on the track.
All right, well, nice job still on the run here tonight. P8, top 10 in USA, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks from Fontana, California.
See ya.
Coming up next is going to be the driver of the 28, Joseph Lewis. Joseph Lewis, kind of a quiet night for you guys. You ultimately will finish in 10th. So overall, for the most part, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you kept your car clean for the most part all day long, and ultimately come in with the top 10. So take me through some of the highlights of your day here at USA.
Definitely making out the big one that we had earlier on in the race where we came out turn 2 and just pretty much had a complete parking lot. That was probably the best thing to happen for us because it took out, I believe, a lot of good competitors that would have probably been up here in the top spot to fight with. But I did have a little bit of damage on the front end. Luckily, with this track, how it is, it does not really affect the car that much. So I did have front end damage, but I was still able to get on the brakes and get the car to turn like I needed to. And I mean, it was fast. Had a tough time getting it in during practice and all. Then spent a couple of times trying to figure out what the limit is to the car. But I mean, to walk out of here with a top 10 with a track that I'm not used to really racing in, especially in two with an Xfinity car, even though I've been used to driving a Cup car past few years. So this is definitely something to be happy to take home.
All right, so in the playoffs, after finishing, of course, 10th in the race, you guys entered the race here tonight, 12th on the points, -7. You don't believe scored any stage points, so it's going to be looking pretty interesting. So what do you think your plan is going to be to try to stay above the playoff cut line for the rest of the regular season?
My greatest bet is probably between the super speedways, try to play it safe through those, but the road courses coming up just to kind of keep a good pace to make sure I get some good finishes. Just try to stay consistent, but I believe that once we start getting into these a mile and a half tracks, that I'll probably be able to shine and maybe hopefully getting a win, like maybe Miami or Phoenix or something like that coming in. But I say that's usually a strong track for me, and I look forward to those former tracks. So hope I'll be able to bring one home and be pretty cozy in the playoffs and get ourselves in a good spot.
All right, well, nice job still on the top 10 here tonight, and we will see you from Fontana in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Coming up next here, post-race interviews from USA Speedway. Give us a quick second. It's going to be Wyatt Youngblood comes home 11th. Wyatt Youngblood, you guys will finish in P11, so very up and down day for you guys. You were fast in practice to start off, and then you kind of fell back early in the race. I believe got almost caught up in an incident. Then what happened on that restart where you guys spun the tires, it looked like, and then created that melee on the front straightaway?
Yeah, I just slammed the gas a little too hard on that restart. That was the so when I almost spun there, I tried to correct it too fast and my wheel decided to go off center. So it was hard to get it going back straight and I wasn't able to straighten it back out for the rest of the race. So I kept having wheel issues. And that's really the reason that we couldn't ever catch back up to the field.
So still a decent start to the season overall after finishing second in Daytona and then 11th tonight USA. So what are your expectations heading into another brand new style of racetrack here this season, Fontana, in a couple of weeks?
Well, I don't know if I'll be able to make it to Fontana. I might be able to, but my goal for the rest of the season is just to get consistent top tens and try to avoid all the wrecks. I was surprised that we even made it as far as we did in that first run, and yeah, I just want to get consistent top tens for the rest of the season and be there at the end for the championship.
All right, well, nice job here on the run tonight, and we'll see you in Fontana in a couple of weeks if you're able to make it.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up next here, post-race interviews here at USA Speedway, just finishing them up real quick. It is going to be Christian Herklotz, who finished in 12th. Christian Herklotz, you guys will come home P12 here tonight at USA Speedway. So kind of an interesting day. It looks like you guys kind of got caught up in one of those accidents early in the race. You repaired some of the damage. You ultimately will finish in 12th. So take me through some of the highlights of your day tonight here at USA.
Yeah, it was pretty eventful. Yeah, I got some damage. I think by the 14 on like lap 3. Then that caution came out. I'm not sure when, but yeah, pretty eventful day. Our number 4 was really fast on the long run, handled pretty good. Got caught up in a wreck with Cheery. And I don't know what really led to that. I didn't really see up front. But yeah, it was really eventful. I'm thankful for my number 4 TCMC crew, everybody over there. And I look forward to Fontana in a couple weeks.
So it wasn't a great race for you guys in Daytona, but P12 here tonight for a bit of a rebound. Ultimately, what is going to be the goal over these next few weeks to try to get you guys in a better point situation for the playoffs in the top 8?
Well, since I'm a fairly new driver to iRacing, just turned 4 months this month, actually. Just gotta, it's just a learning curve, I think. Just gotta learn how to run up front with these guys who have been racing for 2 or 3 years. So yeah, I just think if I keep having runs like this, I can maybe find myself at a playoff spot. I have a couple of friends like Bryce and Maddox Beard who have helped me gain experience. So if I keep having runs like this, I think we'll be good.
All right, well, nice job still in the top 12 finish here tonight at USA, and we'll see you in Fontana in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'll see you.
All right, so coming up here once again, more post-race interviews. We got a couple more to go, I believe. One more. It's going to be George Carey Fridays. So George, Carey for it is you come home 18th here tonight at USA Speedway. So not the greatest of end of the race for you guys. You guys went 3 laps down. So ultimately, what happened late in the race to get you guys out of contention for a good finish?
I mean, really, we had our tires felt good, I guess, up until that point where we spun. Coming off the run, we were starting to get braking into the corner. Really was hard when the car just kept deciding it wanted to snap on us, and finally it snapped. We spun, but overall the car felt really good for most of the run. And I mean, I think if a caution came out and with the new tires that I had put on, I would have had a good run towards the end. But it just didn't happen. And I'm looking forward to Fontana next week. At least I come out of here with points, unlike at Daytona.
All right, so of course, you guys kind of find yourself in a deep points hole after finishing 18th and 27th these first 2 weeks with, I don't think, any stage points. So what is going to be the plan to try to rally yourself back up through these next few weeks through the regular season to try to get into a playoff situation?
Well, really looking at it, it's going to be working with my teammates and practicing. I mean, the good thing about the last 2 races is we did get stage points in both the stage breaks, so that's always really good, without getting points. So really looking forward to the next couple of weeks. I mean, Atlanta's a very favorable track for me because I remember last year, we took our Walmart patriotic 911 Memorial Machine up into the top 10 and almost won that race. So I'm really looking forward towards Atlanta and the other races, just trying to get somewhere that I can, lock in, get a good run and just run up front.
All right, well, nice job still in the race here tonight. Sorry it kind of ended in an unfortunate finish for you guys, but we will see you in a couple of weeks' time from Fontana, California.
Thank you.
And that will do it here for tonight for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series at USA Speedway. Sure hope you enjoyed this one. So, of course, Cup Series tomorrow night at Kentucky. So, of course, tomorrow night, the second Cup Series race of season number 4 from Kentucky Speedway, live on the channel starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You do not want to miss that one, the first mile and a half of the season as well. Overall for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League, and it is, of course, the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. After the Daytona 500, we head to Kentucky. So, on behalf of all officials, team owners, drivers, commentators, everybody involved in making this league what it is, we will see you tomorrow night for the Cup Series from Kentucky Speedway. Good night for the Xfinity Series race at USA.